Thank you all for joining me. We were just having a little chit chat in the comments. I will try to get on in before I'm actually live and chit chat with you a little bit. Can't promise it every time, but we'll see what happens. I have mentioned that it had finally snowed here. We had talked in the past about, my gosh, we're so dry here. We need some snow. So we finally got some. We probably got about 5 inches yesterday, which was, yes, awesome. Kind of have a hard time believing that I'm actually super excited to get snow, but I just know the ramifications of not getting any snow. And if we don't, then this summer, Wyoming will be on fire and we won't be able to go camping. We won't be able to have campfires. And that's always a huge bummer. They'll take away our 4th of July fireworks show. So we got to have the snow. So anymore, I'm just, come on, snow. I hope it snows more and more and more. Now, those of you that live here are probably cursing me right now, but but I really want some more snow because we need it desperately. So I hope you guys are all having a fantastic day. I had a good day. I created some what I hope are some fun projects for you guys tonight. And I see a bunch of you were saying hello. We've got people from Oregon, Colorado, Virginia, I think Hawaii, just all over the place. So yay, thank you guys for joining me. This is awesome. I do have a teeny little update on my son. Those of you that have been following me for a while know that my son had damaged his wrist a couple of years ago. Then he damaged it again about a year and a half ago. Wore a brace on his hand for about a year. Finally, we saw a specialist who did a surgery where they put a little tightrope thing, like they drilled in the bone here, drilled in the bone here, and connected it with a little piece of string, I guess, for lack of a better word, to prevent the thumb from sliding out of the socket. Anywho, my son had been having some issues with it, some pain. There's a little small disc where at the end where they drill the hole, then they put a little disc and they have to tie a knot to keep the disc in place on both sides. Anyways, he's been having some issues, so we made an appointment to go see the surgeon. We saw him on Monday, and basically the guy said that some of the things were, it is what it is, but something he did mention to my son was that from the significant amount of time that my son had his hand in a brace, that he wasn't really using it, that this muscle is very weak and very small. He had my son kind of hold up his hands together, and you could see that the muscle on his left hand was quite a bit bigger than the muscle on his right hand. So he was able to get us into his personal therapist, physical therapist right there in the office, and they gave him some putty. And I don't know how you describe putty, but one of the putties is kind of soft and the other one's a little bit stiffer. And so he's supposed to do exercises with the putty, like pulling it and then smashing it and squeezing it. And that is supposed to help fatten up, get this muscle back to where it's supposed to be. And the surgeon thinks that some of his issues will be fixed just by having more muscle to do that. So there's the update. I guess that's better than we thought. At least there's something we can try to do to rectify the pain and issues that he's having. So we'll see what happens. Let's see, you guys are talking about snow too. Yeah, I know, Gene. North Dakota, you guys are kind of just like us, Montana, North Dakota, South Dakota, probably Idaho. None of us are really getting any moisture whatsoever, and we desperately need it. So then I have one other teeny little update. You guys, a lot of you know, again, that I had my big toenail removed on my left toe on November 9th. Well, it had not been healed. It had been like 10 weeks and the thing was still, this is gross, TMI, plug your ears if you don't want to hear it, oozing, gross stuff. And so finally I was talking to my sister-in-law. We do a fun family Zoom call every month with my dad and my brother, and we all live in different places. And she had mentioned that maybe I should keep it covered with Vaseline and a Band-Aid. And I thought, what do I have to lose, honestly? So I have been doing that. I have been keeping it covered with the Band-Aid and Vaseline for like 2 full days. And then I'll take that off and kind of let my toe breathe for a half of a day and then put it back on. And I will tell you guys, that is working. Oh my gosh, it is finally healing. It's not oozing anymore. So yes, I had a bad experience with it, but please, I've had a lot of you say, oh, well, your experience has scared me and I don't want to have my toenail removed. Please, please, please do not let my awful experience persuade you to not do that. If you need it done, please do it. Most people, I'm sure 90% of the people, do not have the trouble that I had, and so I am here to say that yay, it's finally good. So yay. Okay, I think that's it for the front facing. I am quite happy with my hair. I got it cut a couple weeks ago and I got it colored, and I'm really excited. Oh, somebody's saying that it's buffering. I don't know. I can watch myself on my iPad and I don't see any of that. So I don't know. I guess it's possible it could be internet anywhere. Who knows? But yeah, I'm about ready to have a hot flash. So I'm going to flip this camera around and take this jacket off. And then we will get to some housekeeping information and also some, what do you call it? I've got some projects. I've got some cards that were sent to me by you guys. Oh, wait a second. I got to flip this. This dumb camera. This phone is just the death of me. I am going to, at some point, get a new phone because this one is driving me crazy. It's, anyway. It's just that I hate getting new technology. Do you guys know what I'm saying? New technology is literally the worst thing in the world because then you have to learn a new system. I don't want to get a new one, but I'm going to have to. So anyway, we just got to do what we got to do, right? Okay, so first off, I wanted to chit chat a little bit about the specials and things that are going on. You guys probably already know this. The All Together collection is still available. However, some of the markers are unorderable at this time. I can't remember which ones. I think maybe the medium light and maybe the light have sold out. Not that they're not coming back because they are going to be in the next catalog, but as of right now, they are not available. So Stampin' Up! Is going to extend the purchase on these 3 items, the bundle and then the paper. I don't know how long past the original end date was May 2nd, so they're going to go a little longer. I don't know how long, they haven't told us yet, but just beware that if you're trying to get some of these markers, they are unavailable at the moment. They will be getting more in though, so there you go. Okay, our spring retreat, I am still taking registrations for this. We'll be taking registrations up until the retreat starts or if I sell out. So if you are interested in going to the spring retreat, not that it's going to be an in-person event, it's going to be virtual. But it's going to be amazing. Dina Kelly and I always put on a fantastic event. You guys know us. You know what kind of events we put on. And we pack our goodie boxes full of amazing things. So the goodie box is $149 if you register by the end of the month. And if you do that, then you will get the Friendly Hello bundle in your box as part of your registration. If you wait until after the 28th, it's going to be $159 and you will not get that bundle because I won't be able to get it anymore. So we also have a fun little bonus gift for you guys and just a lot of fun, as you know. So yeah, so if you have any questions, go ahead and go to tinyurl.com/spring retreat with Barb, and I believe all your questions will be answered. So there you go. Okay, just got to plug my tutorial library again because it's amazing. I have a ton. I think I have like 48 PDF tutorials on there, and I still need to upload some of my free ones. I've got to get that done. But I haven't done it yet. There's a lot of things on my to-do list, as I'm sure you all know, because you probably have long to-do lists also. So anyway, so that's always available, always there, tinyurl.com/Barb's tutorial library. Okay. My kit class is going out tomorrow. So those of you that have already registered for it, your kits are going out tomorrow. The class is so cute. I love this kite set. In fact, this is one of the cards I made last week for you guys using the kites. And oh, I just can't stop creating with this set. I have to stop myself. I have to say, Barb, you've got plenty of other stamps and stuff to use. Stop using the kite set. But I can't stop using it because it's so cute. So you will not be disappointed in this class. It is amazing. You get 3 different kinds of paper. And actually there's going to be 4 because I'm throwing in a little bonus thing that I've never talked about yet. But it's a surprise, but you'll be excited when you get it. We've got the 2 different kinds of ribbon. These 2 here, we've got the rhinestones, we've got the butterflies. You can get the stamp set as an adder if you want, and the punch and all that. So anyways, these are going to be going out tomorrow. Our Hello Beautiful class will be going out next week. It's also quite amazing. We just finalized all the projects and oh my gosh, we're just giddy with excitement about it. They're amazing. So that's going to be going out next week. So all the links to all this stuff that I talk about are always in the description of this video, you guys. So if you are wondering how to get something, just check the description. It's all there. All right, I still have some of these artfully layered, artfully composed classes left. And in fact, last week I did make this card using the supplies that you would get in your kit. Check that out. This was one of the fun folds I shared last week on my live. So you can check that out by just clicking on my name below this video, of course, after we're done tonight. And then you can see all the videos in my video library, I guess, on here on YouTube. And one of them, last week's video, will show you how to make this card and also this card. So that's super fun. Okay, and then we have our slim sayings. I still got a few of those left. Adhesive kits. I always have adhesive kits. Here they are for those of you that are brand new and may have never seen my adhesive kit before. They are $45 by themselves, $40 if you add them to a class. They all come in these cute little pouches. This one's blue. I've got green, red, yellow, black, and purple also. You get tear and tape, dimensionals, seal, glue dots, and a liquid glue. Those are your adhesives. Then you get an adhesive eraser, a ruler, and a sand eraser. You get all that for $45, including the shipping, guys. And I see some of you are already talking about Stamp Happy Academy. Yes, Stamp Happy Academy is amazing. I actually was live last Saturday on Stamp Happy Academy showing you 3 amazing layouts and some different designs of what you can do with those layouts. If you're interested in learning more about Stamp Happy Academy, you can check us out on Facebook. We have a business page. Just type in Stamp Happy Academy in the Facebook search. When you see 3 cute little girls, when I say little, I mean Dina, Kelly, and I, eating ice cream, that's the page. And then you can see we had an open house earlier this year, and you can check out the videos and see what it's all about. And then you will see all the ladies that are talking about it here in the chat, telling you how amazing it is and how it's a gift that you give yourself. You can check that out for yourself. Okay, the other card I did for you last week was this. So this is another one of the layouts that you can do to get rid of some of your designer series paper, your patterned paper, your scrapbook paper, you guys. It's amazing. And so I have these couple of cards here. So much fun along with these two. So that was what I made last week. And then I do have to say, I did get some fantastic cards from people. I got some Valentines. I got this really cool one here, which is really fun. Somebody's asking about the rainbow bundle. I think it's the end of the month. I think it's the dies that are on unorderable at the moment. So I think it's the end of this month. I got this from Terry. She sent me the card and she didn't even sign it. So now I can, you know, I can send it off to someone else. So that was really sweet of her. So thank you, Terry. And then I got this amazing Valentine. Also, who was this from? Oh, this was from Terry. So Terry sent me a lot of fun stuff. So yeah, I always appreciate getting your cards, you guys. If you guys are wanting to send me a card, go ahead and send me an email, barb@barbstamps.com. If you want my address, I don't feel comfortable saying it here on a public forum. So if you want to send me something, send me an email asking me for my address and I'm happy to give it to you. Last thing is I always have packs of cards for sale. This is one of my all occasion packs. It's already ready to go. I have a bunch of these and you get 20 cards for $25 plus shipping. The link is in the description if you're interested in some cards, if you just want some new ideas, if you don't have time to make your own cards, whatever the case may be. Yeah, okay. So let's get the supplies for card number 1. Let's see, which one do I want to do? We will do this one first. So this is a fun card that I shared. I actually made a card with this layout for you guys I think it was last month. It was this one here. And I had so much tremendous feedback on it that I have made another one. I made one for Christmas using the cute little stocking die that we have. So much fun. And then I've got another one that I'm going to make for you guys today. And I'm going to be using the All Together Designer Series paper. And so what I did was I wanted to use the dark sides, the black sides. And so I kind of went through the paper and I found the ones that I liked that were really dark, like they had the most black on them, I guess I would say. And so I pulled a lot of those out. And then I decided which ones I liked. Oh, here's some more kites. I've got kites everywhere. I'm telling you, I can't get enough of that kite set. It's just amazing. And then I decided just to cut 1/2-inch strips out of this paper. So these are the patterns that I decided to go with. So I went with, whoops, there's my little dealy bobber there. So these are the ones that I decided to go with. So I pulled them all out of this pack, decided which ones I liked to go together, and then I came up with those. So those are the papers that I'm going to use on my card today. Then, okay, I've got an envelope because I want to decorate that later. I've got a scrap. See, I know it's a scrap because I cut the end off, so I would know which piece not to use. Because I have been known to like take my layers that I already have cut so nicely and then use them as scrap. So that way I know that's not a scrap. Okay, so then I'm going to start with, of course I can't remember. I think it's 3 3 3/4 by 5 is my white layer. And then my black is 3 5/8 by 4 7/8. No, 5 1/8. 3 7/8. Oh gosh, let's just measure it for heaven's sakes. 3 7/8. I think it's 5 1/8. Yes, math is hard. And then I have a bumblebee layer that's 7 1/2. Good grief. Can you guys believe me tonight? 5 1/2 by 8 1/2. Okay. Yeah, we've got it going on for sure. I need to bring in a little scratch paper. And you guys know how much I love these little, oh, what are they called? Little like mini grid papers. We sell them in the catalog. They are the coolest things ever. They're like the perfect little size to use as a layer, and I just love doing it. So I guess the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use the daisy punch because I really thought the daisy punch would be super cool for this particular technique. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take my scrap and I'm just going to crop out a large daisy. Then I would go to my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. I would lay, this is the second largest regular circle, and I would lay that over around that, and then I would die cut that, and I would end up with this right here. Okay, so I have that, so I can save these to use on something else later. Then I also wanted to get myself another daisy with the medium daisy punch. So I have the medium daisy punch and the big daisy punch, and now all of a sudden I want to make sure that these punches are still in the book. Are they? Are they not? Let's just take a look-see here. Oh, yippee, they both are large and medium. Whew! I thought I had messed up there for a second and I was about to freak. Okay, so we use the large and the medium. So I've got those pieces done. So then I'm going to bring in my layer here, and I'm actually going to use a tiny bit of adhesive. I'm going to stick my finger on there so that it's not super sticky. And then I'm going to line my paper up here. Ooh, Becky said she got a daisy punch today. Good for you, Becky. Daisy punches are awesome. And now you really only need these to be 5 inches long, but if you cut them longer than 5 inches, then it's easier to get them on the paper because then you can line them up with the grids and then you can see what you're doing. So I'm going to take my liquid glue, and I do, of course, you know, as we all do, we have multiple adhesives at our disposal that we use depending on what we're doing. And I want to have this just so that there's a lot of adhesive there. And then I can, oh my, I'm going to turn that upside down. So I'm going to start by trying to put this in the middle. So the middle, I believe, I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And so then those 3 are the middle. So basically I just need to go right in between those 3 with my first piece, and that should be right across the middle. Okay. And now this one I'm going to do in a minute. And then I'm going to put this one on. I'm just going to put it right next to that one. And then these fun little leaf images I'm going to put on next. There we go. And then I still have some adhesive down here. So I'm going to add this bottom one. And then I just need a tiny bit of adhesive up here for my last piece. Oh, whoops. Oh, I did that screwy. That's fine. I wanted to have 5 different pieces, but I should have flipped this one over. I didn't, and it's fine. Okay, so we have that. So then we can get that off of our sticky piece. And we can snip this off. So if you guys wouldn't mind sharing the video, that would be awesome. I believe there's a little share button. You could share it to Facebook, or I don't know where else you can share it, but if you are so inclined to share this with people, I would appreciate that. Everything that you do helps my channel with the YouTube algorithms. They love it when people comment. They love it when people share. They love it when you interact. So there you go. All right, so now I'm going to add this to my layer of black, and I have a feeling that my seal is going to run out. I can see the red, but we will see what happens. Okay, there we go. Got that on our black layer, and I've got my bumblebee here, and so I'm going to do that with dimensionals. I just recently used up 2 full sheets of dimensionals, not like all in one sitting, but I had, you know, pieces on both sheets, and I finally got them all used up. And I just have to tell you, that is a super exciting feeling when you use all that, when you use that up, and then you get to start a brand new one. Okay, so we're going to try to center this. Sometimes it works and sometimes centering doesn't. It just depends. I think I need to use my bone folder though. So as you guys know, a bone folder is a tremendous tool for giving you a nice crisp fold on your cards. All right. So then we're going to bring our fun little daisy in here, and there's a piece of my hair on it. Imagine that. I think I told you guys here recently that after I had COVID, I started losing my hair, which was kind of freaky. Is what it is, but I think it's kind of slowed down now because I haven't lost any or as much, I should say. Not that I don't lose hair, everyone does every day, but I'm not losing, you know, hundreds and hundreds of pieces of hair like I was, which was, wanted to cry. Anyway, so I'm putting dimensionals all around my daisy piece here, and because there's so many and they're small, I'm going to try this little trick that I have seen where you can use take your pick tool to pull off these little guys, and this seems to be working pretty good. The big ones I don't ever have any issue with. I can just get those off no problem, but sometimes I struggle with these smaller ones, and I think part of the reason is because I don't have any nails, and so yeah, that's what it is. I'm not really a person that cares about nails, as you can tell. Okay, so I am trying to get this in the center. I think that looks right. Oh gosh. Yeah, losing your hair is no fun. Okay, now I'm going to need your help, you guys. I can't decide if I want to put this medium daisy, let's see, like right down so that it's completely in the other daisy. So I'll let you look at that for a second. So that's going to be, you're going to comment in if you like that, or if I put it on the outside. Now you can't really see it that well. All you can really see is the middle. So this is going to be out. Okay. So this would be in, and then this would be out. So you guys tell me in the comments what you would rather have, in or out. I know what I would like. Let's see. I've already had Bonnie say in, so that's exciting. And in either way we go, I am going to bring in one of these little playing with patterns resin dots, the yellow one here, which I think is probably Bumblebee. I was testing it to see if I liked it. All right, everybody is saying in. I kind of thought you guys might. I liked it better in also. Okay, so I'm going to get this in the center. And you might be wondering why I had it on its own little tiny piece of plastic. I do that a lot with embellishments when they come on these sheets. I will like cut them off, you know, leave them on their plastic pieces, and then put them on my card to see if I like them before I actually commit to it. So, oh, Tammy said out. Tammy, interesting. I thought for sure everybody would say in. But I think we're going to overrule you, Tammy. I'm sorry. But we're going to go in. And I think I'm going to do it with a dimensional. Okay, and I think someone did say popped up. Cynthia did. You read my mind, Cynthia. Okay, and so I think I can even kind of do that, you guys. Pull the petals up a little bit, so it's a little more kind of 3D. If you actually looked at it, you can kind of see where my petals are kind of coming up. So that is really fun. But I also think I might put a few around also. We also need to get a sentiment on here. So let me do that. Where's my sentiments? So I'm going to be using the Special Moments stamp set. This is a free item that you can earn with a $100 purchase during celebration. And I should throw out there right now that if you guys are ordering $100 during celebration, you should sign up to be a demonstrator, because you're going to pay $99, but you're going to get $125 worth of product, and you're going to get 2 stamp sets of your choice out of either one of our catalogs, not host sets, not celebration. So if you are somebody who is buying $100 worth of product, you should sign up to be a demonstrator. And I would love to have you on my team of demonstrators, because we have a fantastic time. We just had our team meeting last night, and I got some amazing swaps. If I think about it, and if somebody reminds me, do I still have them somewhere? I mean, sometimes I take them, you know what? I don't have them where I can get to them easily. I've kind of put them in their groups. Like I try to keep them in groups if they're fun folds or if it's the ship, whatever it is. So no, I can't. But if you're on my team, you know what I'm talking about. So anyway, we need to pick up a sentiment. So of course we are limited into how much space we have right here. So that's why I really like this set. It's got some really fun fonts. It's got some fatter sentiments. It's got some skinny ones. I think we're going to go with Thinking of You. So now I just have to be able to read upside down and backwards and find the Thinking of You. I think it's right here. Yep. Okay, so I need a silicone mat. I always use my silicone mat when I am going to put my word on a block, and someone's going to ask me, where did I get these blocks? These are Stampin' Up! Blocks, guys. They just have, Stampin' Up! Used to sell these grids a long time ago. They quit selling them, which makes me sad because I love them and I'm addicted to them. So I keep hoping that Stampin' Up's going to come out with grid blocks, you know, blocks that have etched grids in them. They haven't yet, but I'm hopeful. I just keep my fingers crossed. Okay, so I'm going to stamp this. Whew, that's kind of yucky. I kind of messed it up, but it is what it is. I can't really fix it. Well, you know what? I probably could. I'm going to show you how we can fix that. Okay, so I need to measure this little space of white. This is about 5/8 of an inch, okay? So if I take a piece of white cardstock, is that long enough? Yes. And I cut it to slightly larger than 5/8 of an inch. So I'm going to use my trimmer here, and so that's a, whoops. So that's a quarter, that's a half, that's 5/8. I'm going to go just slightly longer than 5, or slightly wider than 5/8, okay? And we're going to cut that. So now I have a strip, and if I'm lucky, it should fit on. Oh, I need to cut a little bit more off because it's too long, because that piece is 5 inches long. So now I need to cut this to 5 inches long. And after I show you how to fix this, I may or may not do it. I don't know. We'll see. So what you can do is you can then cover up the spot. So I have my piece of paper. It's about the right size, I think. Yes. Except I had some ink on my finger right there. Yes, that's me licking my fingers and wiping them on my pants. Okay, we're going to try this again. Where's my stamp now? Here it is. Okay, we're going to ink it up. We're going to stamp it right here. See if that's any better. It is a slight bit better. So what we can do then, because this is white and it's going to look pretty good. We're going to be good. So I'm going to take my liquid glue and I'm just going to cover the whole thing with liquid glue. And I have to tell you guys, if you watch me at all, you see me fix mistakes constantly. I'm just one of those people that's kind of accident prone in real life. Like I walk into walls and fall down and do stupid things like that. I also sometimes mess up my cards. Well, actually, probably every single time I'm live, I have screwed up a card. Okay, so check it out. You can't tell that I put that on there. I mean, you could if you were, if you really were looking, if you knew that I screwed it up, you could see it. But anyway, so I think that I might want to. Here's what I would do. So I would take my scissors and I would snip into this piece of plastic, and I would snip off this little guy, and I would stick it on my card like that. So I would lay it on there and then think to myself, do I like that? Do I not like that? Do I want to keep it on there? And I do that a lot. So then I can see if I'm going to like something before I actually commit to doing it, which is nice. And then if I don't like it, then I don't have to do it. I'm kind of wondering if I can do this, because typically you're supposed to have an odd number of embellishments on things. And so if I actually bring this in and do what I'm thinking with it, I'm going to have too many. Okay. So this is my thought process. I was kind of thinking, whoops, actually I would flip these around and put this one here and then put this bigger one up here. So I don't know. What do you guys think? Should we say yes for the extra dots or no for the extra dots? You guys let me know, and we'll go with what you guys think. Oh, you're saying it's a cute card. Yay, thank you. Okay, then we have, while you're saying yes for the dots or no for the dots, I'm going to do a strip of paper on the inside of my card. So I'm going to cut myself a 1/2 inch. While you're voting, I'm just getting my trimmer out here and cutting a 1/2 inch piece of the paper. Is that right? Yeah. Okay. And I think everyone's, oh, we have a no. We have another no. We have 3 no's, but we do have a lot of yeses. I think the yeses are going to be the overruling thing here. So we're going to go with the dots. I would challenge you guys that don't like the dots. You could make your own card because the card is so simple and this technique is so simple, and then you don't put the dots on. You know, you could actually make this in multiple colors. Since we have multiple dots here, you could make this in Coastal Cabana with dots. You could make this in Fresh Freesia with the dots. I think you could just do whatever you want. So, I mean, it would be amazing. Okay, so we are going to go yes for the dots. So now I'm just going to take your pick tool, and I'm just going to go underneath the adhesive, and I'm going to pull it off. Get rid of the little plastic strip there. Get rid of that plastic strip and add that one. Okay, so much fun. I love this layout. Can you tell? So I have probably made 6 cards with this layout over the past couple of weeks, since I did some for Stamp Happy Live too, which are exclusive to Stamp Happy Live. I don't share those projects outside of that. So there we have our inside. And then since I have so much of this paper, I can actually do my envelope too. And there's so many amazing patterns in here. I just grabbed this one. No reason. It was sitting here, so I grabbed it. And so I'm just going to add it to my envelope flap. So the only stamping on this card is our sentiment. There. And then I'm just going to trim around this. Normally I would cut my piece of paper to like 2.5 by 6. But this works just fine too. And you'll see that I'm probably going to cut the envelope. I always do that. I don't do it on purpose. I'm just, I'm just not being super fussy about cutting around this thing because it's an envelope. I mean, just the fact that it's got a fancy back on it, people are going to love it. So there is our project number 1. I hope you guys like that. I love it. And let me get all these items out of here that don't go to our next project. Stamp set. Okay. Need to keep the take your pick tool because Lord knows I'm going to need that again. All right. Let me put this aside and we will bring it back at the end so you guys can see everything that I've made. Thing stuck. All right. So Barb has to always clean up her mess to start for the next project. All right, here I have the goods for my next project. Let's see, is anybody asking me any questions? Oh, Martha, thank you. Martha said the dot in the middle didn't count, so I still had 3. I like that. Okay, here are my card pieces. And we are going to do a little bit of a technique-y kind of thing. So I need this paper again. I have this is just a full sheet of copy paper. Now I work on a wood table. This is a wood table. So I'm going to take this to the edge of my table and I'm going to tear it in half, okay? You guys could probably hear that. So now I have 2 halves. And I'm going to leave those like that. And I'm going to bring in a layer of white. Now this layer is, I think it's 3.5 by 4 3/4. 3.5, 4 3/4. Yes. Okay. So I've got a little bit of sticky there from the other project. So I'm going to go ahead and just use that. And I'm going to line this up again on the grid lines. And then I'm going to kind of press it into the adhesive. Then I'm going to mask off a little bit of the edge. So there's about 3/8 of an inch that's covered up there. And then I'm going to get a couple pieces of tape and I'm taping my piece of copy paper to my grid sheet. Okay. Then I'm going to bring this one in and I'm actually going to use these 2 grid lines and in hopes that that's about even. And I'm going to tape this one also. Okay. There we go. Then I'm going to bring in 3 blending brushes and 3 ink pads. So I have got Mint Macaron, Balmy Blue, and Highland Heather. And we are going to do some blending brush work in this little area that I have exposed. Okay. And the paper is torn, so the edges of my stamp or of my blending here are going to look kind of cool. So let me start with my Mint Macaron, and I need a clear block because I like to rub my brush into the ink, and then I like to kind of get some of the excess off here. All right, so I'm going to start by just lightly going down this center area with my mint. I can come back to my block and kind of pick up the rest. And let's see, is somebody asking me anything? Oh, Becky's late. Not a problem, Becky. You can always watch the replay. Oh, and while we're here and we're thinking about it, and you guys are just watching me, if you wouldn't mind smashing the like button, the thumbs up button, I would really appreciate that too. That really helps the channel out too. YouTube loves interaction. So, all right. So we've got the mint on there. Now I am going to bring in a chamois and I'm just going to clean my block off so I don't have mint ink on there anymore. And I'm just going to wipe this on my pants. You know, the pants I have on are just like what I call house pants. So they're pants that I wear around the house, and if they get dirty, I don't care. And you guys can't see my pants. All you could see was the top of me, which looked good. I had my hair done, my makeup on, all that good stuff. All right, so we've got the balmy blue now. We're just getting some of that off, and we're going to come in, do the same thing, and I'm just using light pressure. I'm going to probably come back in here and do a little darker, but to start out with, I'm going to do it kind of light, because you can always add more ink. You just can't take it back. And so I am definitely overlapping where the mint was. So I want there to be, you know, actually basically like 5 or 6 colors in here when we're done. Okay, we've got the blue. We're going to wipe this off again. Well, you know what? Maybe we'll make that just a tad darker down here at the bottom, kind of. Okay, now I'm going to clean off my block again, wipe it with my hand, wipe it on my pants. Okay. Oh, Cynthia says she always likes my videos first because she knows they're going to be amazing. Oh my gosh, that's like the biggest compliment, Cynthia. Thank you so much. All right, now we've got some Highland Heather. We're going to kind of rub that off onto our block. And then I'm going to come down here at the bottom and we're going to do the lightly with the Highland Heather here. And you can see, I don't know if you can tell what I'm doing with my fingers. I'm kind of like pulling the paper taut so that when I'm blending here, it's not lifting the paper up. Hope that makes sense. Okay, and I'm going to go over the blue. So we're going to have the extra colors in there. Okay. Oh goodness, did you see that? It moved slightly because I wasn't holding it down. There we go. Naughty Barb. So hold on to it. Okay, so I am going to come back in with some of the blue and add a little bit more of that. And then I'm going to tap my brush into the green. And we're going to do the same thing up here. I need to push that over because, as you can see, I didn't put enough adhesive on there. There we go. Ooh, have you guys ever heard of the show Secrets of Sulphur Springs? It's on Disney Plus. It's an amazing show, and if you haven't watched it, you should. It's great. It's kind of like, if you remember the old like Nancy Drew mysteries. There was a TV show, Nancy Drew show. There was also, of course, Nancy Drew books. I swear I read every single one of them. It's kind of like that. So it's about ghosts, but it's not scary. Like a lot of things are scary. I don't like scary, icky, creepy ghost shows, but this was not like that at all. It was just very suspenseful and mysterious, and I loved it. Okay, so that's what we have now. We have this beautiful colored strip down the center of this layer, and now we get to add something to it. So I'm going to bring in the Daffodil Daydream stamp set, and I love this big image right here. And so that's what I'm going to do. But first, I am going to bring in, I've also got the Calming Camellia stamp. This is free with a $300 order or $300 party, depending on how you want to earn it, during celebration. And so I haven't really used it a whole lot, but I really liked the font on the sentiments here. So I'm grabbing the Happy Birthday and I'm going to ink that up. And I'm going to stamp that about like so. There we go. Then I'm going to ink up my large daffodil stamp here. Get that nice and inky. And I need a scratch paper. Here's one, because this is going to go off just a little bit. Okay. And then I'm going to kind of go around my words. And then we're going to stamp this. And look how cool that is, you guys. I love that. So I have another one of these to share with you, another color combination that I did earlier because I couldn't decide, what I wanted to do. So I'll bring those out here in just a sec. Oh, my seal just died. Let me grab a new one. And I do have to say something while I'm changing this out. Terry has been so kind to send me her little pouches because I like to recycle these. I will use them to store things or to send things to people. But Terry, I do have a plenty at this moment. With the last batch that you sent me, that's got me set for a while. So thank you very much. I appreciate you thinking of me. That's really nice. And so I don't throw them out. I try to reuse them. I'm kind of a recycler. I mean, I'm not like a crazy person, but I do recycle anything that I can. Okay, so we're going to add this to a layer of balmy blue. There we go. And then I have a layer of black. This is going to be my card base. All right. And then as you probably saw, I created this earlier today. So it's going to go on the inside of my card. And I'm going to have that same beautiful color combination on the inside as I have on the outside. So we will add this to the inside here. There we go. And then this is going to be on the outside. And now I debated on doing this. I have some of this Highland Heather Girl Grain ribbon, and it's beautiful and sparkly. And there's not a whole lot of border around this thing, but I was tentatively thinking maybe I could wrap this around so that it was underneath this layer. Does that make, do you see you see where I'm going with this? So what do you guys think? Should I do the ribbon So it would kind of look like that, where you just have a little bit of the ribbon at the top. Let's see. Somebody wanted to know what size the balmy blue was. So the white is 3.5 by 4 3/4. So the blue is 3 5/8 by 4 7/8, Cheryl. Okay. So there. What do you guys think? Add the ribbon or no ribbon? I kind of like the ribbon, but then I kind of don't like the ribbon. So I don't know. You guys can help me out while I figure out what we're going to do with the decorating of this thing. I have some of these Artistry Blooms adhesive backed sequins. I'm seeing a lot of no for the ribbons, and I kind of was feeling the same way. Let's see. I think the no's are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I think the no is a little bit, well, it's pretty close. But I think I'm going to not do the ribbon. I think I'm going to not. But I am going to throw some of these beautiful blue sequins on there because these sequins are amazing. And I was very excited when they did carry over from the last catalog. And so we are going to add, I think we'll do it like this. Add a couple. Oh, where did you go? Oh, I just shot it clear across the table. And then maybe like that. That's pretty. Okay. So you guys are saying yes and no. You like it both ways. I like it both ways too. But I think I'm going to go without it because I feel like there's just so much going on with this layer with all the color and everything that I don't think I really need it. Okay. So then we're going to add this. Oh, Amy said, you guys, I need more likes. I need more thumbs ups. So yeah, thanks, Amy. You're it all. Okay. So we have that. Now let me show you my practice cards that I did today. Oh, hold on. I have one thing to put in the middle. I forgot about that. So happy birthday. And then another sentiment out of this same set, the Calming Camellia, is this. I can't remember what it says, so we're going to find out together. Let's see if I can get it straight. 1, 2, 3, go. Kind of. So how's that? Happy birthday. You're in my thoughts today. I thought that was pretty nice. Okay. So let me put this ink away before I, Barb makes a mess, because that happens a lot of the times when Barb is stamping. Barb makes a mess. I suppose that could happen to every one of us, right? So no big deal there. Okay. Blending brushes, everything. Okay, so here is another one that I did using a different color combination. So this one I used Daffodil Delight, Mango Melody, and Calypso Coral. So I did the same thing, exact same process, everything's the same, but instead on this one I used a different, what do you call this? Embellishment. So I used the Silver and Clear Epoxy Essentials. I'm not sure I'm a huge fan of what I did there. It is what it is. It's still a really nice card, and whoever I give it to is going to like it. But yeah, so then as I was practicing of, what I wanted to stamp on the stripe after I had it colored, here are some things that I did not go for. Of course, I had to throw some kites in there because I am loving the kites. So I kind of thumbs down the kites. If I probably worked with it a little more, I might be able to come up with something that I liked. But at first glance, I was like, nah, I don't like that. I also tried this, that amazing, what's it called? It's called Amazing Silhouettes, this stamp set here. So I took the butterfly out of it and I tried that. Again, I didn't really like it. This one I did kind of like. This is the Calming Camellia. This is that large image there. And I decided, this was my very first thought of this was how, in my mind, this is what I wanted to do. But after I stamped this on here, I was like, whoa, I'm not feeling that so much. So then I made this one. Again, still didn't feel it so much. And then I did this one. And while I love the kites, I'm not feeling it. So then I pulled out the daffodil, and that's where this came from. So this was my final, this was the one that I decided I was going to go for, and I am super happy about it. I really like it. And there you go. So, okay. Moving on to our final card of the evening. Let me get the bucket here. And I can get that out of the way. So this card, I am going to use, what am I using? The Cactus Cuties. And yes, Pam, I like that one the best too. My final decision there was the best one, I thought, along with the little cactus punch. So this might be my class to go for next month. I'm not positive, but I think it might be. Anywho, so what I have here is a piece of soft suede. And this is, of course, 8.5 by 5.5. We're going to fold it, burnish it, all that good stuff. Then I have a layer of white. This is going to go on the inside, so it's 4 by 5.25. I have a piece of this paper. Of course, I can't use this enough either. Kites and Sunshine and Rainbows paper have been my favorite things for like 2 months now. So I chose this little piece here. I really liked this kind of, I don't even know what it is. Whatever this pattern is, I liked it. Okay. So I am going to cut it. Well, I could use my trimmer. My trimmer's right here. I don't even know what size this piece is. This happens to be in my paper pack already done. So it's a 2-inch, so I'll just cut it at 1. So I can have 2 1-inch pieces. Okay, easy enough. Put my scoring blade back in there. Okay, then I have a 2 3/4 by 5.5-inch piece of crumb cake. And I have run that through my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine with the splatter folder out of the stripes and splatters collection here. And so here's the splatters, here's the stripes. You can sort of see the difference there. So I did that with the splatter. Then I also did a piece for the inside with the stripes. So I'm going to put my striped layer on the inside of the card, and then I'm going to have the splatter on the outside. So what I want to do with this splatter is I want to put a bit of that designer series paper on each side of this. So I'm just going to run some liquid glue down the edge there. And this is too long. It's a 6, but I only need it to be 5.5. But we're going to cut it off in a minute here. Okay. So we're going to do that. And then I'm going to bring the glue over to this side. Do the same thing. And just have a little bit of that showing on the edge. So that's another thing you can do with your pattern papers. You know, just slightly, just have a little bit of it show. I really like that. I think that's almost too much. Okay. So then we're going to stick it on the front of our soft suede layer here. So I'm going to go ahead and just add the adhesive on the whole thing. And then we're going to try to get this in the center. So I'm just using my eyes here, nothing special. I think that's in the center. Okay. There we go. And then we can just trim off the excess that we have here. I didn't quite get all that off. So I will be going back to cut off the rest of that. There we go. And I do have this tiny little snippet here that I didn't get. There. Okay. So that should be good. So there's the front of the card. And like I said, this was going to go on the inside layer. So we'll just add, oh goodness, I don't think I should put this on here yet. Hold on. I'm going to put this off to the side because I don't want to put that on there yet. So I may have to get a new piece of paper. Okay. So then I need some scraps of white, which I should have some here somewhere. Okay. And I need some ink. Let me push some of these things out of the way because we don't need those. We've got a sponge dauber. And a lot of you guys know that I love doing this also. Well, not quite yet. So I'm going to stamp this little pot for my cactus to be in, and I'm going to punch it out. So what I'm going to do with it is I'm going to ink it up, and then I'm going to stamp it on my scrap in the same orientation that it is on the punch, so that when I slide it in, I'll be able to easily punch that out. So there we go. And then we can just do this. Slide it right in. And whoops, that shifted in my punch when I was not ready. So we're going to do that again. Okay. There. Okay, so there we have our little pot. Cute. And now I need to do some of the cactus pieces. So I've got 2 cactus pieces here. I've got the kind of fat cactus and then like the little arms that you add to the cactus. So I'm going to start by inking them up in Pear Pizzazz, which is the ink pad over here. And then I also have Old Olive. So I'm going to do the big one first, and the big one on the punch is right on the edge. So I can, if I flip this around and ink this up, then I can stamp it. So I've got Pear Pizzazz on here. Now I'm going to take my sponge dauber and dip it in Old Olive. And then I'm just going to add a bit of Old Olive right here around the edge. I'm going to huff on it. And then I'm going to stamp it so that I get, you know, like a little more realistic, I feel like, view of the cactus here. So now we're going to punch that out. So here's our cactus along with our little pot. And now I need the little arm pieces, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to ink that up in the Pear Pizzazz. I probably already have enough Old Olive on here, so I can do that. And I'm going to stamp that right here. Okay. And then I can bring my punch in. Oh, nope, I can't. Hold on. I stamped it upside down. I need to kind of wipe it off just a little. So we'll try that again. There we go. And we're going to stamp it upside down this time. I forgot the orientation of this little guy is upside down. So then when you slide it into the punch, there you have it. And then you can see that we have that amazing kind of same shading thing going on, which I just think this is a really cool thing to do with bold stamps. I love doing this. Oh, I almost forgot. We're adding a little bit to the edge. Got a huff, stamp it, punch it. Have any of you guys used this cactus set yet? Comment down below and let me know if you've used it or not and what you think of it. I love it. This is kind of right up there with the kites. I just love all this stuff. All right, so I'm going to stamp that like that. Oops. And we're going to punch that out. So now I have 3 cactus arms and the cactus. Okay, so I have all these bits that you get also. So we're going to kind of toss those bits. And then the last thing I need is, I have this little scrap that I ran through the machine with that splattery folder. And I'm going to give myself 2 of these little flowers here out of the splatter paper. And what happens is then your flower has some texture, which I just think is a little bit of fun added to it. So let's see, Polly says she has it. She doesn't have it yet, but I'm inspiring her. Yay! That's what I like to do, you guys. Inspire you. Well, let's see. I've got this piece here still. I'll just make this easy on myself and just kind of shove that in there and then get the flower. Okay, so we should have all of our pieces that we need to build our cactus. Oh, I need a circle. Hold on. I am going to cheat and use a circle punch that we don't sell anymore because I don't want to go over to my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine at this moment. So I've just cheated and I've used a punch. So I've got this little guy here, this pot, and just to add a little bit of interest to the pot, I'm going to add a tiny bit of adhesive to the back of it, and then I'm going to put this on so I have just the tiniest bit of pool party showing. There's my sentiment. All right, and we're just going to snip off that, and then we're going to add it to the bottom of the circle. Okay, so we'll just kind of set it right here, right at the bottom. Then I'm going to bring my first cactus piece, the big one, and I didn't put a whole bunch of glue all the way up to the top of the pot, so I'm just going to tuck my big piece, my big cactus down in there a little bit. Okay, and then I have the little arm, one of them. Same thing, I did not put glue at the top of my big cactus there. A little bit there. We're just going to kind of build it up like so. And then I'm going to add that over here. So we'll have the little arm sticking out on that side also. Then I'm going to put a tiny little dot of glue right here at the top of the final cactus arm. And I'm going to add my little flowers. Okay. And because I cropped them out of the piece that had dimension, I'm going to get some dimension on here, which is pretty cool. So then my little circle is going to go right there in the middle. I think I need to pop it up though. Love punches. I know, me too. Punches are my favorite thing, you guys. Let's see, does anybody else have it? Nobody's mentioning it. Well, I love it. Okay, so we are going to add this right about like so. And then I have a strip here of Pool Party, and I'm going to bring in my Bermuda Bay ink pad, and I'm going to stamp a Just a Note sentiment on here with the Bermuda ink. So we're going to stamp it over to the right edge. There we go. Whoops, that was like a double. Oh, what do you know about that? I already stamped it. Good Lord. I've just been stamping this sentiment all over the place. Okay, fine. So I'm going to snip off a tiny bit of the edge. Actually, if it was straight, that would be helpful. Okay. And I love adding just a tiny bit of color to the end of my sentiment strips. So I'm just going to touch that to the piece of Pear Pizzazz. Okay. And then I'm just going to snip off the tiniest bit so that I'm going to have a tiny bit of Pear Pizzazz kind of peeking out at the end there. Okay. And then I'm going to snip that off, and I'm going to snip with my snips to get my sentiment. Okay. And then I'm going to add this to the card right down here, kind of towards the bottom a little bit. Try to make it even. I could have popped that up, honestly. That would have been okay. I didn't, but I could have. All right, and then the last thing I'm going to do is add a few little rhinestones. Now, if you have holiday rhinestones, those will work really, really well. But I'm going to give you guys a little sneak peek at a set of rhinestones that's coming out in our as a promotion in March. And these are called the Rhinestone Waves Basic Jewels. Look how much fun those are. So I am going to use a couple of these, what I feel is like Bermuda Bay gems, right here at the base of my flowers, like that. Okay. And so then I need a new piece of white because, you know, I put glue on that one before I was ready. Could I fix that? Now I'll fix it later. Let me quickly do this. Okay. So what I was going to do here was I was going to bring in the larger cactus and this other little pot, and I was going to kind of do the same kind of stamping on the inside. So let me stamp my pot here, and I'm going to stamp it like I'm going to have that strip of paper on the bottom, so I'm going to bring my pot up just slightly. Okay. And then I'm going to bring in my big cactus, this one here, and I'm going to ink this up with Pear Pizzazz, but I'm going to add a little bit of the old olive also to give it some dimension. So I'm just going to go maybe around like that. So we're going to huff on that, and then we are going to try to get it right at the base of the pot. Like so, and then we can do one more. I'm sure I have that scrap somewhere of that piece that we can get another flower out of this. Maybe we should be able to somehow finagle that into the punch and hopefully get a flower out of it. There, I think we got it. Yay. And then I'm just going to add a tiny little flower right here on the inside. There we go. Actually, I should have another one. Maybe I could punch one out because I don't need this whole strip. Ooh, but I need most of it. Okay, I'm not going to chance it. Yeah, we're not going to chance it. Okay, so I'm going to add some glue to the bottom of this. And then I'm going to add this piece. But I don't want the whole thing because I just realized my pot is not in the right spot. So I'm going to do that with it. There, that's good. Okay, I did good. And then I'm just going to snip off all this excess. So instead of having a 3/4 inch strip, I probably should have just had a half. So if you're trying to copy my card, make this little strip about a half. Okay, so let me close up this ink so that I don't make a mess, because you have all seen me make a mess. All right, so I was going to say, I know I changed out my seal. What did I do with it? All right, now we're going to put this on the inside, and then it is done. Oh my gosh, so cute. I love this stamp set. Just love it so much. Okay, so there is my cute little cactus card. So much fun. Hey, you guys, while we're doing here, if you wouldn't mind subscribing to my channel, should be right down here in the corner. There's a little subscribe button. And then after you do that, there's a little notification bell that's next to that. And if you hit that also and say all, then whenever I post that I'm going live, you'll get notified from YouTube. Every time I upload a video, you'll get notified from YouTube. So there you go. Just want to throw that out there. Okay, let me bring the cards back in that we did today so that you can see them all. I'm going to push all this stuff out of the way. So here was our fun Daffodil Afternoon card. And then here is our kind of sister card, I guess, to that. And then we have our really fun Daisy card that we did with that fun technique that I am in love with. That technique, you guys. I just love doing this. And you can use, because we all save scraps. I'm a scrap saver too. And this is a great way to use up those scraps, you know, that you have those little strips. You're like, oh, but I don't want to throw it out because I might be able to use it. Here's a perfect opportunity to use it. So, and I'll show you again the other two cards that I did with that same technique, just as a quick little thing. I did a Christmas one, and then I did this cute little cloud one. So yeah, so much fun. All right, you guys, all my classes and everything is linked in the description of this video. You can get to my store, you can get to my newsletter, you can get to everything that I offer with all the links in the description. And I will be back here next Thursday, 7 p.m. Eastern, to create with you guys again. So I hope you have a fantastic week, and I will see you again, guys. Okay, bye-bye.